did have music happening here at one point. Alright, so, we're just chilling, trying to see if the audio sticks this time. Oh, hello. You are without any sort of armor. Got some nature runes, bones. Gotta bury the bones. Okay, so, as you may know, when you attack these Ogress warriors, sometimes you get salmon. And a lot of people don't bother with it. But I usually do this kind of training stuff fairly AFK. So I like to keep the salmon, because sometimes you click to attack the ogress and then they walk away and you follow them. And you're doing magic, so you take a beating if they actually get a hold of you, which is a problem. So if I happen to get some salmon from a drop, I keep it on hand. If inventory space is getting low, though, it's one of the first to go for sure. My little stash of runes over here so I can cast the spells. Yeah, this is just the regular kind of fire strike. Nothing fancy. I could do fancy. I have some chaos runes. I could step it up, but what's the point, right? I mean, yes, you level up faster, but honestly, at what cost? And this is, pretty low-key, pretty AFK friendly. And it's the kind of thing where it'll take longer because you're not getting as much XP with every kind of strike you're getting, but if it takes some extra time, it's not a bad thing for me. It just means I get to AFK for longer with this towards that 99. Yeah, so personally, not a big deal. And I do a lot of things, not necessarily the hard way, but just I guess kind of the dumb way. Because I know that this game is just pixels mainly, but it still feels wasteful if you waste stuff, So I collect all these runes so that I can use them for magic later. I collect the limpwort roots. Not because I make strength potions, but because they sell for a decent amount sometimes on the Grand Exchange. And then I can use that money to buy more runes that I do want, or to buy arrows, or whatever. But at some point you'll see that I will go personally kill cows to get some hide to make leather, to do leather crafting. And a lot of people, especially when you get to higher levels, don't really bother themselves with that. It's generally the work of low levels, but I get to bury a bunch of bones, I get the hides, it's much cheaper. I think last I checked, which was a while ago, admittedly, a cow hide, not even turned into leather, was 150 gold per, which is just kind of dumb. That's just how I feel about it, though. For some people, it's well worth the trade, right? But they're trying to level up faster and whatever, and I play this game for nostalgia and to just feel like I'm multitasking when I'm doing other stuff. And then, yeah, I organize my inventory in a very specific way, as you can see. But then it's just chilling. Love to see that we haven't dropped any frames. I'm really hoping by playing this full screen with Steam that the quality won't be quite as terrible as that first test run. But I think the other thing that a lot of people may or may not know, I guess, about old school RuneScape is that the visual quality is the same that it's been since, like, I don't know, 06, 07 or whatever. So, like, you can see all the different squares of the different patches of color for the land. Which I, like, enjoyed, and it gives me nostalgia, so I'm fine with it. Like, the pixelation is fine, right? The kind of not very detailed ogresses is fine with me. These that are clearly built in layers, right? You didn't really get the smoothing effect, that's fine. It's chill. It was one of the first games that I really, like, devoted a lot of my time to, which is probably unfortunate for younger me, but it was a good time. Played with some friends back when it was more popular. Sometimes I play it on my phone now. I will say the mobile version, not that bad. It's pretty chill, actually. And yeah, you can clearly see that I'm safe spotting here. Again, I don't want to have to take a bunch of, like, food with me in here to mage stuff, so we safe spot. And I do that with arrows too, and like I said, it lets me AFK pretty easily. And I guess the other benefit for that, for me, is that by using the lower level strike against the ogress, it takes longer to kill them, which kind of discourages other people from popping in and waiting around for me to be done to steal it from me, because that's a rampant problem. But also, it gives me longer to do whatever it is that I'm doing while I'm doing this. So I'll often read papers while I'm doing this. And if it takes, 10 more seconds to kill, or 20 more seconds to kill, and that just means I get farther in the paper per ogress. And yeah, that's something I'm fine with. I've gotten a couple genie lamps down here lately, so that's been great. I've used them towards runecraft experience because I think that is my least enjoyed skill. I really, really hate crafting runes. I'm fine with mining the essence, like that's pretty chill or whatever, but running all over creation in order to get to the different temples is such a chore. And it's like an active chore, so I like have to be on top of it. Otherwise I run and then I sit in the forest for like a few seconds while I finish reading a paragraph, and then I run again, and it's just so disjointed and inefficient. So I don't do that. And like, they're never, like, aside from the air temple, they're not really like on the way to anything. So it's not like, oh, you're going from Falador to that random island off the coast, which is where I am now. So you can hit the air temple on your way by. Get 140 air runes real easy, you'll be fine. Like, you can do that for air, but mine isn't really on the way to anything. At least nothing that I do. Water isn't, the depths of the lumbered swamp. So there's really no point for me going there either. And then there are other places, but, I can get runes killing these guys and then buying them on the Grand Exchange. Which, to me, is better with it. Oh, yeah, maybe it's not obvious. I feel like it should be obvious, but I'm a free-to-play player, right? So maybe one day I'll splurge for membership or I'll buy bonds or whatever. But that day is not today and probably not any day soon. So I'm not going to be going to like members quests or members vacations or doing fun member things. This is really just going to be like chilling and skilling. And if other people want to work on their skilling while we chill together, that's lit. If you want to watch me skill while you chill, that's also chill. But yeah, I'll be here. I'll be around. Sometimes. I don't know when exactly. To be determined. I don't have any sort of plans to have a schedule per se. Especially not a schedule with this. Like I said, I do this while I'm reading papers usually. I'm not reading papers at the moment because, like I said, I want to test the audio. I'm using a different mic today. But the general premise is that if I'm here, if I'm live, if I'm playing old school RuneScape, I'm probably reading papers. And hopefully eventually chatting with people once, people get here, if they get here. I don't actually know that this is good content. And I say that because I don't know people who like watch people play RuneScape. And especially not old school RuneScape. And maybe I'm just not in the right circles, which is totally valid. But as like I would say a long time RuneScape / old school RuneScaper myself, I've never looked up videos of people doing RuneScape stuff. So I don't think this will be how I gather a community, but you never know. Also, some people in this game are just true rude people. They pop in, they swear at you, and then they pop off, and it's like, okay, do you feel better? Because otherwise there is no point to that whatsoever. And hopefully we don't run into that today. I'm not going to say never because it's definitely going to happen. Because I feel like it happens fairly often just when I'm doing this by myself and not rambling at myself / y'all. A future y'all, I'm assuming. Maybe. But, yeah. Why is the limpwood root here? The limpwood root is here because if you kill enough ogresses, you can get all the different runes that they drop, and they drop 10 different ones, and that puts it here. And so then I put the limpwood roots there, and then they grow down this way. And gems, I start from this spot up. Coins always go here, and then in descending order of value, myth, steel, and iron arrows. If I need more slots, I'll equip one of these because I have slots for that. But then it's an extra step to put them in the bank later, so I don't always do that. Any armor I get, I usually high elk pretty quickly. I want gems. I know that not everyone does. I know that a lot of people will take like a chisel with them and just cut them and drop them. But again, it feels wasteful. They're pixels, I understand. But I can take them to the bank, I can cut a whole bunch of them at once, and I can sell them. And you know what? That gives me a few more runes or a few more arrows or whatever it is I need. And that's chill. Ooh, myth arrows. That's fun. Yeah, sometimes I will go fight the hill giants under Edgeville. And I will do that to get the keys so I can go fight what's his face. Maybe I should do research before I start one of these. I definitely said I was going to look up what the name of this island that I'm on is. I don't think I did that though. Let me do that now. Oh, you don't need to see that. That terrible whiff. Let's see. Ogress Warriors, OSRS. Where are they? Corsair Cove. That's right. Corsair Cove. That's where we are. That's where I do a lot of my skilling. The bank isn't too far, right? And then there's that harpoon fishing spot not too far. I know that, Karamja was the popular place way back in the day. It was 30 gold each way, and yeah, you can get that from bananas or whatever, but it's a lot of travel time for not a lot of payoff, frankly. So this is a lot easier because you just fish a bunch, put them in the bank, and then at some point I go to Edgeville and I do a bunch of smelting and a bunch of cooking. That's a pretty good use of time. Yeah, I prefer the Edgeville smelter to the Alcarid one, personally. I think it's slightly closer, but it also just has other stuff that I can do there. Because, like, the big thing Alcarid has going for it is that smelter, and then the leather, right? So I can do leather or smelting, and that's fine. But it's also farther out of the way than I like to be, because I'm usually in the teleportation kind of loop between Falador and Varrock. Because I go to Varrock to hit the Grand Exchange and maybe to mine some rune essence when I'm running low. And then Falador for mining, which I do fairly often. And of course Falador to get back here to Corsair Cove. And to kill cows for leather, and to do air runes, and yeah. I'm sure this is thrilling for all of you. Do. To kill cows for leather, and to do air runes. Yeah. I feel like the quality through the YouTube stream is still pretty grainy. Because the last one I looked at, it was a lot grainier than it should have been. Like, what I can see in the RuneScape window is pretty clear for what it is, right? And it's real grainy, blurry on the YouTube VOD after. So I'll have to see what I can do about fixing that. I thought I fixed it by going full screen so that it was in better resolution, but I don't think that actually solved anything, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. If you did watch this, thank you for doing that. Feel free to, I don't know, leave a comment. Can you message people in YouTube? I don't think you can. I feel like you used to be able to. Am I making that up? I feel like I used to message creators all the time. Back before they were creators, though, you know what I mean? Back when it was like a YouTube inbox that you sent to like vlogbrothers and hoped for the best. I don't see an inbox, so I don't think one exists. But feel free to send me an email. You can find my email on my profile. if you have suggestions for things I should play or stream or whatever. I do have things on my list to do, but I am in school, grad school, so I don't have a ton of time. That's why these OSRS streams will probably be semi-regular, because there's a lot of reading, pals. Like, undergrad, you probably had readings. Some of them were probably textbooks, and like you might have felt like there was a lot. And in your defense, there probably was, but there's way more in grad school. And also, like, to a certain extent for both, if you don't do the readings, it's not the worst thing. But depending on who your prof is in grad school, like, they will know. They will make you have group discussions about them. They will make you use them in your papers. And it could be a real bad time if you haven't done it. Especially because if you fall behind, like, you've fallen behind. Like, if you get 100 pages plus of reading per week and you miss 1 week, then that's a real big deficit, depending on what else you're doing with your life, right? So, like, I also work a couple of things. And so getting like 100 pages behind is not feasible. And it's not recommended. I do not recommend it. But how about we finish this ogress up, and then we cut the stream, and I get to see whether you can actually hear me this time, which I think you can. I think I can read OBS correctly now. And, oh, there we go. That's a victory. Oh, look, and fire runes we didn't have before. Did it matter? No, because we have a fire staff, but for completeness' sake, it's nice. What is that, a bird? What is this? What is this sound effect you've decided on RuneScape? See, I don't usually play with the music or anything. But I felt like that would be more boring for y'all, you know? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're ending the stream. If you watched, thanks very much. Appreciate you. Feel free to share with your pals. Don't feel the need to, though. I don't want to be one of those people who demands it, you know? It's just, ugh, don't like that when I view stuff personally. So don't feel any pressure. But if you liked it and you want to share it just because, like, you think other people would like it, that's lit. No obligations. Okay. This was fun. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.